We've been here before, fighting against the things that make us unhealthy, fearful, and lonely. While fitness centers closed their doors, we opened ours wider. We ran towards the front lines, providing childcare, food, support, and hope. We charged forward. As you begin to reset your life, consider joining more than a fitness center. We are a movement that says yes. Yes to the vulnerable. Yes to the isolated. And yes to swimming, fitness, and Zumba. The YMCA is so much more than a gym. We are a cause. A cause for a better us. Join a cause.
Welcome, Y family and friends. My name is Margy, and this is Vinyasa Yoga. I'm going to take you through about 45 minutes of a Vinyasa flow practice this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Karen. I miss seeing you. I see you on the board over here. So some things you might need for your practice this morning is a yoga mat, or you can use a towel, or if you're in a carpeted space, that's fine too. Really anything is great for yoga. And some other things you might want is a water bottle or a block as a prop, or you can also use a stack of books. You can even use your water bottle for a prop too. So those are some things you might need this morning. And then also want you to let you know to take this practice, take what you need from this practice. I'm going to offer lots of options, so you take what your body is requiring this morning. All right, and let's get started. We're going to start in child's pose on your mat. So come on down onto your knees, take them wide on your mat. And DJ, you can start the music, DJ Halls. Thank you so much. So knees wide, sink back towards your heels, and stretch your arms forward. And allow your head to float down toward the mat. If your head doesn't come to the mat, you can take your hands and just place them right underneath your forehead and let your forehead rest comfortably on your hands. And we're going to turn our focus to our breath here. So breath and movement is so important in yoga. So we want to start with a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel your chest expand, your belly expand, and then breathe back out through your nose. Keep your mouth closed. Using your Ujjayi breath, and let's try that again. Another nice deep breath in as we become present to our breathing, something we take for granted. And exhale. So I will be cueing breath and pose this morning. Continue to sink your hips back towards your heels. And if your head is resting on the mat or even on your hands, you can slowly turn it side to side. Give your forehead a little massage. And continue with your breathing. Another nice deep inhale and a nice deep exhale. If your head is moving, bring it back to stillness. We'll take one more breath here. Fill up and empty out. And slowly come to all fours. So stacking your hands underneath your shoulders, stack your knees underneath your hips. Back is nice and flat. Draw the pit of the belly up and in. Engage your core. And then drop your belly, lift your chin, lift your tail for cow pose. Inhale. And then exhale, drop your head, round your back for cat. Just wake up your spine. Another cow on your inhale. Press your collarbone forward, and cat. Round your back all the way up towards your ceiling. And you take this at your pace. We'll move through 3 more cat-cows. Wake up your body. And we'll all meet in table position when you're finished your cat-cow flow. Holding in table. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, sweep your right arm up toward the sky, toward the ceiling. Look up. And then reach across the front of your body, palm up, thread the needle. You can release your head all the way down to the mat or to a block. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And on your next inhale, sweep your arm back up toward the ceiling. And then let it float back down, back to all fours. And let's try that on the other side. Inhale your left arm up toward the sky. I like to pretend I'm outside. And then sweep across the front of your body. Palm up, lower your shoulder, lower your head. Thread the needle. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your arm back up. And on the exhale, let it float back down to the mat. Beautiful. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your tailbone, downward facing dog. So we're in the upside down V position. Check your feet out. Make sure they're stepped apart, about 2 fists width. And your toes are facing the front of the mat at 12 o'clock. We're not worried about our heels touching the mat. We're pressing down, but that's fine if they don't touch the floor. And then check out your hands. Your fingertips are spread wide. We're pressing through the fingers, your palm, and let your head just drop between your arms. And if you want to take movement here, alternating heel presses, walk the dog, or crouching dog where you soften your knees and then straighten your legs. Feel free to take what your body needs here in this first downward facing dog. Stillness is also fine. So remember, feel what you feel in your body and do what works for you. That's what yoga is all about. Being present in your body, being aware of how your body feels. And if you are moving, become still. We'll hold here one more breath. Deep breath in. Fill up your lungs, fill your belly. And then exhale. Let all the air come out. Soften your knees, look forward and step forward. Standing forward bend. We're coming to ragdoll. So feet about hip distance apart. Knees soft here, and hinge from the hip. Allow your upper body to drape over your lower body. Arms can hang long, like empty coat sleeves. You can stay still here. Again, you can take movement. You could also cross your forearms if that's for you. You can sway side to side. You will be feeling this in your lower back, so pay attention to that. You can soften your knees even further. That will help with your lower back. And if you are moving, bring it back to stillness, back to the center. Release your hands if they're bound. We're going to walk our feet in towards each other, big toes touching. But keep a little bit of space between your heels. And inhale and rise all the way up, sweeping your arms up. Bring your hands to prayer at the top, a little tiny back bend. And then lower your hands to heart center. Welcome to your practice. We're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, standing forward bend. Halfway lift, flat back. We're going to plant our hands on the mat and step back into our first plank. Option to be on your knees. We're going to lower all the way down to the mat. And inhale, cobra, just a little tiny back bend. Release it back down, exhale. And let's try that one more time. Inhale, cobra, little back bend. Shine your heart forward. Exhale, release it down. Tuck the toes or come back to your knees. We're pushing back to downward facing dog, so get there however works for you. And we'll hold here for 2 breaths. So allow your head to drop. Take your tailbone up toward the ceiling. Maybe lift your heels a little bit higher and then slowly lower them down. Remember, only as far as feels comfortable. And just one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Soften your knees. Step forward, standing forward bend. So option to use a block here too. I didn't say that the first time. Halfway lift, flat back. Fold again. And then extended mountain. Inhale, sweep your arms up. We're going to try that again. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands, step back into your high plank. This time, option to go to low plank or all the way down to the mat. Up dog on the tops of your feet, or cobra, and downward facing dog. Beautiful. And continue to breathe. We'll have one more breath here, warming up the body with our sun salutations. Soften your knees, look forward, step forward, standing forward bend, halfway lift, flat back, fold, extended mountain, sweep your arms up. Maybe a back bend here. Fold again, exhale, halfway lift, flat back, plant your hands, step back, high plank, knees or toes, low plank or all the way down to the mat, up dog or cobra, look up. Downward facing dog. Look back towards your legs. Let your head hang. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Soften your knees. Look forward. Step forward. Standing forward bend. Halfway lift. Flat back. Fold. This time, inhale to chair. So take a seat. Sink low here. Draw your tailbone down toward the floor. Reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling. And think about your shoulders. If they're hunching up, open your arms a little bit wider. Palm tree arms. And that'll draw your shoulders down your back. Beautiful. Sink a little lower. Just wake up your legs. They're working hard. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Fold forward. Standing forward bend. Halfway lift. Flat back. Look up. Plant your hands, step back, high plank, low plank, or all the way down to your mat, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Remember, move at your own pace. We might not all be moving at the same pace, and that's okay. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. And spin your left foot out to the side. So I'll show from the side view here. Front knee is bent, my back foot's angled out to the side. Sweep your arms up, tuck your tailbone, and just hold here for this first warrior one. Inhale and exhale. And just one more breath. Inhale. On the exhale, plant your hands on the mat, step back to high plank, low plank or all the way down, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. And breathe just one breath here. We're going to move a little quicker. Warrior one, left side. So step your left foot forwards, spin your right foot out to the side, and sweep your arms up into your warrior pose. Think about drawing your right hip forward and your left hip back, because we want our hips square to the mat. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back, high plank, low plank or all the way down, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. And breathe here. We'll take 3 breaths here, a little break. Sink a little lower. Press down through your heels. Press into your hands, fingers and palms. Last breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Soften your knees. Look forward. Step forward. Standing forward bend, halfway lift, flat back, fold, chair pose. So back to our chair. We're going to move a little quicker. Fold, halfway lift, flat back, down to the mat, chaturanga, high to low plank, or all the way down to your mat, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Warrior one on your right side. So now we know this sequence, sun salutation B. Fold. Hands down to the mat, step back, high plank to low plank, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Warrior one, left side. So you take it at your pace. One inhale on the warrior one, exhale on the fold, high to low plank, up dog to down dog. And breathe. 2 more breaths here. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Soften your knees, look forward, step or hop forward, standing forward bend. Halfway lift, flat back, look up. Fold, chair pose, take your seat. We're folding again. Halfway lift, chaturanga, high to low plank. Or all the way down. Up dog or cobra, you guys know this. Press back, downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one, step it forward, spin your left foot out, sweep your arms up. This time open to two. So we're gonna take our back foot maybe a little bit wider, and it's parallel to the back of the mat. Hips directly, shoulders directly over your hips, and just stretch through your arms, front and back. Imagine there's somebody behind you, reaching for your hand, and someone in front of you. Flip your palm, peaceful warrior, back arm slides down the back of the leg, front arm reaches up. And then cartwheel the arms forward, pivot on your back feet, step it back, high plank. Low plank or down to the mat, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. And breathe, inhale, exhale. Warrior one left side, so we're gonna repeat that same sequence. Spin your right foot out, open up, take it to two. So adjusting your back foot, wider on the mat. Soft gaze over your front fingertips. Flip your palm, reverse warrior. And then chaturanga, place, cartwheel your arms and come into the high plank to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. And breathe here. Anytime we're in down dog, if you need to take it to child's pose or drop to your knees, feel free to do that. Remember, you are going to be listening to your body. Honor your body. One last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Soften your knees. Look forward, step forward. Standing forward bend. Halfway lift, flat back. Fold. Take a seat, chair pose. All right, we're going to hold it here in chair pose. Bring your hands to prayer and bring them to heart center. So holding right here. We're going to take our right elbow toward our left knee, so hinge forward, and then add a little twist here. So you can stay just like this. Palms pressed together, elbows stacked. Or you could open up your arms. You can use a block here. You can take your top arm and just tuck it behind your back. That's also an option. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. If you have the option, bring your hands back together. Release your twist. Fold forward. Holding here, take your feet about hip distance apart, coming to yogi toe lock. So take your peace fingers and grab your big toes if you can. Otherwise, just stay folded forward. Soften your knees nice and deep and allow your belly to touch your thighs. And just allow your head to drop. And then straighten your legs slightly, little flat back, and then fold again. And then take it where your body feels good this morning. This is a deep hamstring stretch all down the backs of your legs and even into the lower back. Bring some softness to your neck. Maybe take your head side to side here. A lot of us hold tension in our necks. And even shake it yes. You're doing something great for yourself today. Taking time for a yoga practice. And then allow your head to be still. Release your big toes if you had them and walk your feet back towards each other. They don't have to be all the way together. Halfway lift, flat back. Fold, chair pose. So back to chair, we're doing the same twist on the other side. Hands to prayer. Bring them to heart center. This time, hinge forward, left elbow towards the right knee. And you might need to sink a little lower in your chair to get that twist. That should probably be the other way. See, I'm even moving. Beautiful. And then option to open up, take a half bind. It's up to you. And smile. Don't be so serious. Have fun with this. Release, bring your palms back together. Release to the center, fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Chaturanga, plant your hands, high to low plank, or all the way down to the mat. Upward facing dog, or cobra, downward facing dog. We're gonna hold right here in our downward facing dog. And I want you to inhale your right leg behind and flex your foot. So your toes are pulled towards your shins, leg is nice and active. Bend your knee and open your hips to the side. So you can stay right here. You can circle your ankle. You can point and flex your foot. What feels good for your body this morning, that's what you want to take. You can also flip your dog here. Flipping over, lift your hips up. Arm reaches up toward the ceiling. Lift your hips, don't let them sink. And you can also even go into a tiny back bend. And breathe. One more breath here. If you have flipped your dog, we're flipping back. Everyone's going to go to a three-legged downward facing dog, so your legs extended up toward the sky, and let it float back down. Let's try that on the other side. Left leg extends behind you. Bend your knee, open your hips. So hips are stacked one on top of the other. Option to circle the ankle, point and flex your foot. If you're circling, circle the other way. And then option to flip your dog. So remember, you take what works for you. Not everybody's going to want to flip their dog. You don't have to. If you have flipped your dog, lift your hips up. Press through your feet. Open through your chest as you reach back or reach straight up. Back to downward facing dog, three-legged dog. So left leg extends up toward the sky. Let it float back down. Beautiful. 2 breaths here. It's always coming back to breath. Soften your knees, look forward, step forward. Standing forward bend. Halfway lift, flat back. Fold. Come back to chair. One more time for our chair. And let's do a little bit of balancing chair. So sinking low in your chair, I want you to just lift your right heel up off the mat. You can lift your whole foot if you want to, but you can always keep a point of contact. Beautiful. Release it down, sink a little lower if you lift it up a bit. And then lift your left heel. Option to lift the whole foot. And release it down. Nice job. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, fold. And stay here. Take your feet hip distance apart. Option to go back to yogi toe lock like we did before, or gorilla pose where you take your hands and place them directly underneath your feet, your toes right in your wrist crease. So again, option is to soften your knees. This can be a very difficult pose. A lot of us are very tight through the backs of our bodies, our hamstrings. And if you are in gorilla, press your toes, the top of your foot, into your hands. Give your palm a little massage, even your wrist. And don't forget to breathe. We're always focusing on breath. And just one last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands from underneath your feet or your yogi toe lock and take your heel toe your feet wide to the outside corners of the mat and sink down into a yogi squat. And don't worry if your heels aren't on the mat, your heels can be lifted. So we're going to stay right here. Try to take your elbows to the inside of your knees and keep your upper body lifted. Beautiful. You could stay right here, or if you want to move to crow and do a little bit of flying this morning, feel free to go there. So crow, your hands come down, walk your feet in a little bit. You want to place your knees or your shins on your forearms, and don't be afraid to fall. It's only a few inches. And even if you just lift one foot, and you just want to be looking forward, brace your core, and lift your other foot. Into crow. We call one foot lifted baby crow. Maybe you get it for just a second, that's okay. And wherever you are, yogi squat or crow, we're coming down whenever you're ready, back to a high plank. So high plank, low plank, up dog or cobra. downward facing dog. And take a couple breaths here. Last breath, inhale and exhale. Crescent lunge, right side. So step your right foot forward, keep your left leg long, and sweep your arms up. So it's a high lunge. You can also opt to lower your left knee down to the mat. So you take, again, what works for your body this morning. Hands to prayer, bring them to heart center. We're adding a twist. So left elbow toward your right knee and twist to the side. Option to open up here. Take your hand down to the mat or a block. I want a nice long line in the body. So my one hand is directly, my shoulders are in line. So my one hand is directly in line with my other arm. And smile. Again, try to have some fun here. If your arms are open, bring your hands back together. We're moving to warrior two. So we're gonna open up. Now I'm not facing you guys. Look over the front fingertips. So open to warrior two. Awesome. Flip your palm, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, and side angle. So just lowering your front arm down toward your thigh. Back arm reaches up and over. An option to go to extended side angle. Extended side angle, your hand can come down to the floor to a block. Top arm can reach up and over. So we're opening up through our chest. So think about drawing your left shoulder back. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale back up to warrior two. Flip your palm, peaceful warrior. And chaturanga. Cartwheel your arms around. Step your right leg back. High plank to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. We'll hold for 2 breaths here. Nice work, everyone. Step your left foot forward, crescent lunge on the left side. So take your time, get your balance. Feet are on railroad tracks. We don't want to be on the tightrope, so feet should be hip distance apart. Option again to drop your knee. Bring your hands to prayer, heart center, add your twist. Right elbow to left knee. Feel free to open up your arms. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, open to warrior two. So adjusting your back foot is now parallel to the back of the mat. Front knee is soft. Reach over, front and back. Flip your palm, reverse warrior. And side angle. So again, side angle. Front arm just resting lightly on your thigh. That top arm reaches up and over. Another option here, you can reach your arm forward, share your energy with everybody else. Or down toward the floor, or even a bind. Lots of different options. This is so great about yoga. And then back to side angle. Peaceful warrior, flip your palm. And chaturanga, cartwheel your arms around, step back into your high plank to low plank. Up dog. Downward facing dog. And breathe here. Nice work. One more breath. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Soften your knees, look forward, step forward. And then come all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms up. Let your arms float back down. So we're gonna go to some balancing poses here. Give me a little shoulder roll. And lift your right leg, hands to your hips. Knee bent, foot is flexed. And then just take your leg forward. Does not have to be lifted high. Standing leg raise. Bring it back to the center. Right hand to your knee, and let's take it out to the side. Option to take your left arm out. You can look over your left arm. Bring it back to center. Both hands to the hips, and then send your leg forward again. Take your arms up this time. hinge forward to airplane. So leg extends back, arms come along, a little bit of up dog in your chest though, so we don't want to be totally flat toward the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, shine your collarbones forward. Awesome. One more breath here. Okay, so stay here or option to go to standing half moon, where your left arm comes down toward the floor, right arm goes up. So this is a little advanced. You do not have to do this. A block is nice here too. You can look straight down at the floor, out to the side. I'll show the next one facing you guys. Beautiful. One more breath here if you're in half moon. Come back to airplane. And then bring your hands to your hips and walk them all the way down your leg. Send your leg up toward the sky, your right leg standing, split. And don't worry, your leg does not have to be all the way up toward the ceiling. As you can see, mine is not. Just allow your head to drop. Soften your standing leg knee, and then slowly release your leg down. Back to standing, forward fold, and then rise all the way back up. And release your arms down. Little shoulder roll. We'll try that on the other side. So now your left side knows what to expect. To ground into your right foot, arms out to the side or to your hips, and lift your left leg. Knee bent, foot flexed. Beautiful. And actually, keep your hands here. Send your leg forward. Again, remember, it doesn't have to be high. Bend your knee again. This time, left hand to left knee, right arm out to the side or stay at your hip and open. So you can stay looking forward. You can turn your gaze softly to the right. So good for us. A little bit of wobbling, that just makes us stronger. We build stronger roots. Bring it back to the center. Hands to your hips, stay there. Or they can go up to the sky, send your leg forward again. You know where we're going. We're flying, going on the airplane. So tip forward, arms come along behind you. Press your foot away, almost as if you're pressing against a wall that is right behind you. And a little bit of lift in your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Excellent. Stay here. Go to half moon. Half moon, right arm goes down, left arm goes up, opening to the side. I'll try to show it from the side. Beautiful. And a little bit of wobbling is fine. That's how we grow. We should be challenging ourselves every day. Push yourself a little bit toward the edge and then come back to airplane. Hands to your hips and walk your hands down the standing leg to the mat, to a block, and just send your left leg high. Challenge to hold your ankle. Again, it's up to you. What is feeling good in your body this morning? One last breath here. Inhale, exhale, let your leg float down. And soften your knees, standing forward, bend. Awesome. Place your hands on the mat. We're stepping right back into a high plank. Knees or toes. We're going to slowly lower down. 4, 3, 2. I want you to hover at the bottom. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Push up. And this time, lower down for 4, all the way down to the mat. So this time you get to come all the way down. Oh, feels so good. So on your bellies, on the mat. That's your reward for all your hard work you've done so far. Turn your head to one side so your cheek is resting on the mat and your arms are right alongside your body. Palms down. Actually, palms up. And that'll allow your shoulders to press against the mat, just fully releasing them. Beautiful. So the tops of your feet are pressed against the mat. We're going to flip our palms so now they are facing down. Thumb to the outside. Turn your head back to center. Locust pose. So I'm going to show you a couple different options here. You can keep your arms tucked into the side with your hands pressed in the mat the whole time and just lift the head and the legs, head, chest, ribs, and legs. Or you can have your arms alongside and lift up, or you can let the arms float with you. So you pick, where do you want to go this morning? Let's go. Locust number 1. We're going to do 3. So lifting the head, but you want to look straight down at your mat. Keep your neck in alignment with your spine. Squeeze your glutes, spiral your inner thigh muscles in towards each other, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And release it down. Turn your head to the other side. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your head back to center. Let's do it again. Your pick, whatever form of locust you want to do this morning. Lift up. You go, yogi. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. On the exhale, we'll lower down. Turn your head to the other side. And bring it back to center. So regular locust, or this time you could also do floor bow, where you reach for your ankles or your foot. And you can stay just like this. You can do one leg at a time. We're going to inhale and lift. So locust, floor bow, half bow, it's up to you. So if you're in bow, you can look up, just look straight forward. Press your feet into your hands, squeeze your legs in towards each other. And you can rock. Beautiful. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release it down. Turn your head to the other side. And we're going to do one more since we did bow. And if you did one side, I know you're going to want to do the other. We don't want to be uneven. So floor bow or locust, you go. Don't forget to breathe. One last breath here. Inhale. Exhale, release it down. Turn your head to the side. Great job, everyone. Walk your arms forward. Tuck your toes. We're going to press back, child's pose. Knees wide and sink back. Just one more breath here. Walk your hands in towards your knees and come up. We're going to come onto our backs for bridge pose. So knees will be bent. Hands behind the thighs, slowly come down onto your back. Arms are by your side. And so walk your heels in a little closer to maybe your longest finger can touch your heel, and don't worry if it doesn't touch. So we're going to first bridge. We're just lifting up. Arms are going to stay by your side. Press through your feet. Lift your hips. Squeeze your glutes. Weight moves to the back of the shoulders. You're looking straight up at the ceiling. Pretend you have an orange tucked right underneath your chin. You want to keep your airway open. And one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, lower down one vertebra at a time. Okay, we're going to do two more. Option for half wheel, where you walk your arms underneath your back, or even a full wheel, or stay with bridge, or even supported bridge, where you take your block or books or something and just tuck it right underneath your lower back. So ready, you go. Lift up. I'm going to do half wheel, walk my arms underneath my back. So it's get my chest lifted a little bit higher. I'm reaching for my opposite wrist. Squeeze the glutes. And again, keep looking straight up at the ceiling. My heart is shining right up to the ceiling. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower back down. One breath here, and then we'll move one more time. Wheel, half wheel, bridge, or take a rest. So it's up to you. Whenever you're ready, go. So if you're in wheel, let your head drop between your arms. Press through your feet. Lift your hips up in any of the wheel poses. Bridge poses. And smile. I know this is hard, but you're doing it. One last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly come down. Tuck your chin if you're in wheel. And then hug your knees in. So good. Maybe rock side to side here. And from here, happy baby. Soles of the feet to the ceiling. Reach inside or outside of your foot. And draw your knees in towards your underarm. Lower back can be pressed against the mat, or it might be lifted up off the mat. It's one of my favorite poses. Makes you think of little kids who can do this and can bring their foot all the way back toward their face. Awesome. And then bring your legs in towards each other. We're gonna rock forward and back on our mat. So you can hug your shins in, and then just rock forward and back. Coming up to a seat. Come to boat pose. All right, so legs can be lifted, knees bent, or you can dock a foot to dock your boat. You can also do that with your arms, so that's an option too. So you pick where you want to go. We're going to tap one foot, lift it up, tap the other foot, lift it up. So keep the upper body lifted, nice long spine, just tapping your toes. Whoop. And it's okay if you move a little bit. One more each side. And then hold still wherever you are, boat docked or not. And then we're going to slowly come all the way down to the mat. Stretch your arms long. Beautiful. And then let them float back along your side. Bring one leg in, then the other. Send them both up to the ceiling. Flex your feet. So the soles of your feet are facing the ceiling. Arms just rest. Hands can come right behind your head, cradle your head, or they can be right along your side. We're just going to lower the right leg, lift it up, lower the left leg, lift it up. Scissor legs. So you can get a little more intensity by lifting your head and shoulders up off the mat. So we're just alternating leg lifts and lowers. Getting the core. We work the core in every single pose, but this is just targeting the core directly. And a core is such a strong, the foundation we need to keep us healthy. One more each side. Awesome. Hug your knees in. Rock side to side. Okay, and then forward and back again. We're coming to a seat, in a real seat, not boat pose. So bring it forward, however you get to seat, to a seat. Awesome. And then we're going to uncross our legs and come to a downward facing dog. One last downward facing dog, just stretching out the legs. And then lower to your knees. Walk your hands back. Send your legs long, just to a seated forward fold. So legs are extended forward, staff pose. Draw your toes towards your shins. Sweep your arms up. Hinge forward, nice long spine. Imagine you have a string at the top of your head and someone's pulling it forward. We're keeping our spine nice and long. And breathe here. Inhale, lift, exhale, maybe sink a little deeper. Beautiful. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back towards your hips. And we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. So scoot yourself down so you can lie all the way down on your back. Hug your left knee in toward the chest into a supine twist. So right hand to your left knee, left arm out to the side, and then draw your left knee across the body to the right side. And you just keep your shoulders pressed against the mat and just look straight up at the ceiling. Just one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Bring it back to center. Hug your right knee in. Send your left leg long. Left hand stays on the right knee. Right arm extends straight out from the shoulder. And then draw your right knee across the body to the left side. Supine twist. This always feels so wonderful at the end of a practice. Just a twist for the lower body. Upper body is pressed into your mat. One last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Bring it back to center. Hug both knees in. I want you to hug yourself into a little ball. Bring your forehead towards your knees and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. and then stretch it long on the mat. Take your arms back by your ears, just one last yawning stretch, and let your arms float down to your side, coming right into Shavasana, relaxation pose. Close your eyes here. You worked so hard today. This is your reward. Let your body be heavy. Melt into the mat. Let your breathing regulate. Let your practice settle in your body. You can stay here as long as you want. I will be closing the practice. You can roll over onto your right side, a comfortable fetal position, knees bent, arms bent. Pose of new beginnings. Just one breath here. And we'll slowly come up to a seat. Use your top arm to bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Legs long, legs crossed. Bring your hands to heart center. And then bring your thumbs to the center of your forehead. And let your palms open. Let the light in. The light in me acknowledges the light in every one of you. Namaste as you bow forward. Thank you for coming out to practice with me today.